Hey guys, how are you? How's everything going? Good. So, quick question for everybody, show of hands. Who was in the mortgage business before 2011? Okay, so everybody knows the pre-Dodd-Frank world. Everybody knows, kind of the crisis that we went through. And the new normal that brokers had post-Dodd-Frank. And the post-Dodd-Frank world, the bottom line was this, is that the broker became minimized. At one point we had as much as 45% of the overall market share. After Dodd-Frank, we went down to as low as 7%. And now we're trending up in a big way. Year to date, from a purchase market perspective, we're at about 16%. So one of the things I continuously talk to people about is, getting brokers, my peers, to think about things a little bit differently, and not in the sense of transactional work, but in the sense of growing your business. So people talk about brawl and why is he doing this? What's the motivation? And I look at it from a perspective of, it's not about the lenders, it's about our clients. And it's about the reality that if you can't retain your clients, then you have no value, okay? This is the truth, is from a standpoint of selling a business, everybody just saw Franklin American Mortgage just sold their business. What was their value? How did they sell their company for $500 million? Well, they had a lot of clients in their servicing portfolio, so that was the value. For us, we're in a transactional world where we don't retain our customers. Insurance agents, when they get to a certain point, they're ready to retire, they sell their book of business. Financial advisors, they sell their book of business. Mortgage brokers, independent originators like us, it's very transactional, and there's nothing to sell. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. You're not going to sell a business at any point if you're a mortgage broker. You're not going to see a headline, Garden State Home Loans just sold their broker shop for this. That's not a part of our world. And Brawl is all about changing that dialogue and understanding that we do have a relationship with our clients. This is a relationship-driven business, and we're very focused on being in a position where we can retain our clients. I sent out a post last week on social media. I don't know if anybody saw it, but essentially UWM is one of the companies, and there's a couple here, that they offer kind of a post-closing retention mechanism that just sends out people home value estimations, like, hey, your value is $350,000, whatever. And last week I got 3 in one day from customers that responded, customers that even with our CRM, wouldn't be reaching out to because those people had great rates and we just didn't think we had any reason to be reaching out to them. Well, as it turns out, they're downsizing. One guy's moving from New Jersey to Florida. One guy's in a situation where his kid's going to college, so he's going to cash out. So these are the little situations that come with being in a situation where you control your customer's destiny. So, from a standpoint of Garden State Home Loans, how did Garden State Home Loans get to the point where they are a top broker in the country? I'd like to have the perception that it's all about me, but it's just not. When I got in the business in 2003, I was fortunate enough to, basically the 3 guys that sat around me. One guy, Chris Pell, is our operations manager at Garden State Home Loans. Justin and Joseph is our CEO of our company, our business manager. Joe Cicali, who's here, he's our technical wing. So these were the first 3 people I ever met in the mortgage business. Literally 18 years old, first job in the mortgage business, we all sat together. And these are the guys that now are my partners in our business. And I realized as we developed our business that the reason why we were growing and scaling and becoming a top broker in the country was because everybody had a lane. And I was able to be the sales guy. I sat on the sales floor with our originators, and I kept everybody, sitting there and motivated and originating new business. Chris Pell was our processing and operations guy. Justin took care of the books. I didn't even log into QuickBooks or our bank account literally till we were 5 years in the business. Joe, when he came on board, because he had left for a little while, went back and got his master's degree, he came back and he was our technical end, and he was the one that had the vision to say, Anthony, being a broker, there's no way to scale because your technology is so fragmented. Show of hands, who here uses Calyx Point as their LOS? Yeah, so Calyx, 94% market share in the broker community. It's been around forever. It's not very robust, as we all know. There's no connectivity to our lender systems. There's no real connectivity at all. So one of the first things Joe says, hey, why do we have an LOS? Why do we need it? We can, all of the HMDA reporting, all the things that we can do in Salesforce and our CRM, we can build it customized to what an LOS does. And then he talked about bringing in a POS, and we use Blink, and we're going to be expanding our options over the next couple months as a part of our tech initiative here for AIME. But he was able to sit there and put together a CRM, which became an LOS, a POS with connectivity to our lenders. And what that allowed us to do is streamline our processes and grow our business. But the unique perspective that I got out of it was, I would never, if I was a single broker owner and it was just me and I didn't have these 3 other guys all doing their thing, we would never be able to grow. It would be so difficult to do it all on your own. So, when I got into Brawl and I got into AIME, I had that in the back of my mind, which is brokers are unfortunately underserved in almost every perspective of our industry. So technology, all of the big, Blend is now, we did an announcement, Blend's going to be building a broker product. Well, guess what? We're the last one to the party, unfortunately. Blend's been with Wells Fargo and Movement, and that great technology, it's been out there for several years. We're just finally getting it. And that's the case with almost everything. We're the last ones to get anything. And to me, what we want to do here from a perspective of, AIME is we want to eliminate that. We want to be in a situation where we know that if each individual in this room tries to go to a technology company or tries to go to a lender and as one man says, hey, listen, this would make my business better or more efficient if you did this. It's unrealistic for everybody to go there and expect that kind of reaction. But when you're sitting in a situation where you have a united group of mortgage brokers, 38,000 originators that are all saying, hey, listen, we support AIME, and we want AIME to be the vehicle to get us better technology, better resources, better branding to support us. And I think from a perspective of what we're going to go through here is the one major thing that we want to accomplish by the end of this year is having a philosophy of we want to build businesses, we don't want to build pipelines. And what that means is if you walk away from your business, how much does your income decline? If you have to take a month off, if you have to take 2 months off, are you still looking at a check every Friday or every end of the month? I've been doing Brawl and AIME now for 8 months, and I would say for the last 4 months, I've almost been, to a degree, 90% exclusively working on this. My check's still the same, my salary's still the same, our business is running. I would say, there's some, I wish I could be there more. I'm sure my employees wish I could be there more, but our business is fully operational, and that's what we want to get everybody in this industry to be able to do. And it starts with the ability to retain customers. So bear with me. So it starts with the ability to retain customers. So number one goal, we're looking to empower originators, mortgage brokers as a business. So understand there's a separation there. The independent originator, number one, which is like a financial advisor or like an independent insurance agent. That's one part of it. Then there's the mortgage broker owner as an independent business, empowering them. Third part is the community. I mean, at the end of the day, I would say that the broker community up until recently, there hasn't been one. Events like this didn't exist. Advancements in technology, strategic partnerships to bring proprietary, customized technology and training to the broker community didn't exist. These things didn't exist. So as people say to me, oh, you've made so much progress. Well, I got a lot to work with because there's nothing going on here. There's no infrastructure. All it took was one person to make a call to a company and explain that we have 38,000 users that are doing 16% of the market that are working at a Calyx for everything. And that's when, just simple communication was able to start building these relationships. So empowering everybody is important. And again, empowering, it's really important you understand what that means. Empowering you to control your customers. We have a couple lenders here in the next 60 to 90 days that are going to be doing something really special, and I hope it's the new normal moving forward and for the long haul, which is mortgage broker on the mortgage statement. And then when when the customer logs into their mortgage account online, no, it's not going to be a pop-up from their retail loan officer trying to sell them goods and services. It's you. It's going to be your picture. It's going to be your name. It's going to be your company. And again, people say, is that really that important? Yeah, it's really, really important. And just understand, the other industries that are comparable to ours are like financial advisors and insurance companies. And if you get your homeowner's insurance every year, it says, here's your insurance agent. You get your financial advisor, your 529 statement from whoever you have your kids' college stuff with, it says the financial advisor right there. That is the first step to being in a position to start to build a business, because now you're accumulating customers, you're developing those relationships, and they're staying with you. They're not over after the transaction. It's a long-term relationship. So, that's a big deal. It's a big first step. The couple lenders that have agreed to do that, I hope that we all embrace them and applaud them. And then from there, it starts the momentum to put the pressure on all the other lenders to understand that you want to do business with us as a community, make the commitment. Show how committed you are to us by putting us front and center everywhere where that customer is going to see us long term. So number two thing that we're focused on is technology. A bunch of our, Matt just talked about technology, and I would say I've been fortunate enough to be in a lot of different trainings with UWM and all of my lenders, to be honest with you, and they talk about technology. $6.4 billion, okay? A lot of money. And the reason why he's worth so much and the reason why they're spending more money than LendingTree on marketing, the reason why they can afford to be more aggressively priced than everybody else in the market is they're not in the relationship business, they're in the data acquisition, the customer acquisition business. So they can say whatever they want. 1 out of every 20 mortgages in this country goes to them. That's dramatic market share. And recent article he was quoted in, he said he wants to quadruple that. So where are those loans going to come from? They're going to come from at our expense. And it really comes down to, again, respectffully, I think one of the biggest things that I've been able to have as a part of my just kind of mental makeup is self-awareness. I got in the business in 2003, 2007, 2008, the crash came. For 2003 to 2006, 2007, I thought I was, king of the hill, printing money, everything's great, yada yada. And then all of a sudden the crash comes and you realize it's not about you, this is a market-driven business. So, my learning lesson from that was learning that, this is a market-driven business, it is a relationship-driven business, and you have to be self-aware. Do you want to be Blockbuster, or do you want to be Netflix? Do you want to be forward-thinking? Do you want to look and be honest with yourself and say, listen, it's not about the technology, it's about customer acquisition. If I'm doing loans with lenders that are sitting there and their entire business model is to steal my customer, or let's not say steal, repurpose that customer, then just understand, then that's all you're ever going to be. You're going to be very exposed to, never having a business that's worth anything. Our goal, again, empowerment. It's putting everybody in a position where it's their customer for the long haul, and more than anything, the tools that need to be, the tools that a Quicken has, the tools that the biggest retail lenders in the country have are now in your hands. So if you don't need the lender to do the work, you're going to be in a position at the lowest cost denominator to be able to do all the marketing things that they do to stay in front of the customer, the credit monitoring things. Those are all tools that, like I said, later this year, we are extremely confident that every single broker in this country is going to have a very, very low-cost technology resource that connects all the dots and puts them in a situation where nobody's going to beat them to the punch, okay? Big deal. Next thing is standing up for what's right. I think, from my perspective, it really comes down to straight conversation of understanding that, like, at the end of the day, if you realize that there's an issue, if you realize that, as a industry, there's things like just being in Colorado this week, I've learned so much. I didn't realize how big of an issue that Colorado originators deal with builders that offer crazy incentives to basically eliminate competition and keep those customers using their in-house mortgage company. And it's a big deal because home building is the inventory right now. That's the new inventory that's out there. So for us to not be able to compete for it and consumers to have an unlevel opportunity to shop around, it's unfair. So doing what's right is understanding that I'm not looking to be Mr. Lobbyist. I'm not even looking to be Mr. Trade Association. I'm looking to be the resource that brings all of the resources that we need as business owners and loan originators to grow our business to the point where we have a retaining value, that we have something that is actually worth something. So doing what's right as a leader of this movement and a leader of this organization is understanding that every single day I look at it and I say, okay, what is in the best interest in the most biased way for the loan originator? I actually had somebody that's here today, point out something that I had been saying and kind of correct me, and it really was an eye-opener. He said, everything you're saying is about just, a business owner. Well, you should think about the originator as well. Because the originator is the one that's developing the relationships. The originator is the one that's out meeting realtors, working till midnight, doing the pre-approvals on the weekend, doing all those things. And it's true. I'm a business owner, so when I say mortgage brokers, I always think of it as a business, but it's the individual originator as well. It's empowering them to be in a position where they can grow their business as well. So for me, what's right is putting in the time right now where we have this unique opportunity, where we have the stage, our channel is growing. We went from 10% market share last year for purchase volume to 16% this year. The projection is we could be as much as 25% by the end of next year. And I can tell you, as somebody that's on the front lines right now, I'm getting calls from every retail organization's loan originators on a daily basis, emails, social media, private messages. Hey man, I really see what you're doing. I'd like to become a mortgage broker. This is the single greatest opportunity to recruit talent in this industry since post-Dodd-Frank, when all the brokers went to work for the bankers. Now they're coming back because they realize it's very hard to sell 400 basis point margins. It's very hard to be in a situation where you got to make your LO comp and the lender wants to make another 200 basis points, and it's tough to compete. And at the end of the day, when rates are in the threes, easy pickings. Now you're in a situation where rates are up big. Because our overhead, we're able to really compete at the lowest denominator possible. They can't overcome that anymore. So instead of beating them, now they want to join them. And to me, that's an opportunity for every broker owner in the industry. It puts you guys in a position where, if you can support it, you could potentially double, triple your business by boarding these originators as they come into the channel. Because they don't want to start the wheel over. They don't want to reinvent the wheel. They don't want to start a business. They simply want to be in a situation where they have a program optionality, lender optionality, and more than anything, the ability to compete for every deal. Quick story, I met with a retail branch owner in California a couple weeks ago, and guy, $180 million in volume as a retail operation. And a year ago, all realtor referral, strictly referral business, he was able to retain 80% of every referral all of his realtors sent to him. 80%, so it's a great ratio. Right now, because he's in California, average loan amount's big, can't compete from a pricing perspective, he's down to like 32%. So you're getting all these referrals and you can't even compete for them because your margins are so big. So he's desperate to come into the channel because we don't have that issue. Is anybody in here in a situation where you're having trouble competing on price? Anybody? You can set the margin as low as you want. You're in a situation, you control your own destiny. So to me, this is a magnificent opportunity. It's something that I've talked a lot about. We're in the top of the first inning. Over the next 18 months, as this accelerates, you're going to see that opportunity grow. Capture it. Put yourself out there. You heard some people here talk about building your brand and all that stuff. Really, really important. Get yourself out there. Put yourself in a position where when those people are coming into the channel, you're out front and center, and you're able to board them. Next thing, this is really the biggest thing, it's been a huge value, is why have brokers been taken advantage of for so long? And why are we in the situation that we're in right now where we're growing, we're getting things done that lenders said would never happen? Is the communities come together. Via social media and the ability to have voices out there that are sitting there and saying things on social media that champion our channel, we've all engaged and we've all come together. And it's been a massive movement. More than anything, it's as an aggregate, the mindset is changing. I remember after Dodd-Frank and after the housing crash, being embarrassed to say I was a mortgage broker. We were not branded well. We really took it in the teeth. I'm very proud to be a mortgage broker now. To me, when I'm sitting with realtors and we're selling ourselves to them on why they should work with Garden State Home Loans, it's an easy value proposition. We are the best possible option for them. You want a 203K loan, you want a fix and flip loan, every single product outside of jumbo, which we're working on, we are the best option. We cover the most bases. So community, peer-to-peer engagement. Right now we have a Brawl social media Facebook group, lots of engagement in there. Many of the people that are here today are a part of that group. And I would say, we started the group to talk about Brawl. We probably don't talk about Brawl at all anymore. We talk about the things that affect our businesses, ideas. And I'm not too ashamed to just say, I've gotten a lot of great business ideas from fellow brokers. I had a broker that gave me a suggestion out of Florida where he told me he basically went to a realtor shop and all he did, he didn't spend any money for them. He just said, hey, listen, all I want to do is I want to give you an iPad that is pre-set up. So when you have an open house, person comes in the door, they have to put in their they have to put their name and email and everything in, and that's it. And they're like, well, why would I do that? Well, right now, you're not creating any leads when these people come in. You put that as a kiosk right up front. Once they walk in the door, they plug in their information, and what happens? Bam, your email, you're getting that person's contact info. You have 32 people come to your open house, one person's going to buy the house, okay? Where did the other 31 people go? He gave me that idea. I was like, holy shit, I'm doing that. And I literally did. And then those are the things where it's like, we need to communicate. The big retail companies, why they've had the scale and the growth that they've had is they have great sales management. They have great systems. They have a great community within their organizations that empowers the organization to share ideas and collaborate. I would be happy, and Mark mentioned it, and we're doing this right now every 2 weeks in our office. If you want to pay for your plane ticket, come to Garden State Home Loans. I will show you step by step. Me and my 3 partners will sit down. We'll walk you through our entire business model. You can meet our loan originators. You can talk to our processors. We'll tell you our entire evolution and show you exactly how we are able to be in a position where in a declining market, we're growing at a very fast rate, and it's all purchase relationship-driven business. More than happy to do that because, again, to me, it's the example, and it's putting everybody in a position where it's like, hey, listen, what is AIME trying to do? AIME, our whole goal is, if you're growing your business, if we're strong as a channel, what can we accomplish big picture? Can we be in a position where every lender is saying, it's your customer for life? Can we be in a picture where there is not this, the big lenders have the jumbo products, but we don't? Right now, we have some products that are out there that are exclusive to our channel that all of the guys that are in retail are inquiring about them. I was talking to AFR right before here. They have a one-time close product that they get calls from Guaranteed Rate about that product. So these are the things that are unique to our channel that from a peer-to-peer perspective, if I'm not focusing on it, but some guy in Texas tells me that he's grown his business by double digits month over month or year over year using a certain product that we're not using, well, we'll do it next month. We'll start focusing on it immediately. It takes the engagement. So the community is more than anything. You guys showing up today, big deal. And again, being engaged and understanding that there's a theme that's going on here with all the dialogue today. You heard it from Barry, you heard it from Terrell Davis, you heard it from Matt Ishbia, and the theme is understanding that you have to give a little bit, your time, and same thing for me. This is not easy to spend as much time as I do doing what I'm doing, but you have to give in order to accomplish your long-term goals. And the long-term goals is, again, it's empowering the originators, the brokers, and the community. And that's what we're all about. And I want to be in a situation where end of 2019, if we knock it out of the park on all of the things we're focused on, then I get to focus on my business again. And I won't be doing this whole AIME thing. We'll all be in a situation where we have a community, we communicate, and we just go to work and we're able to be, we don't need somebody that's sitting there doing all these things. So really focus on the peer-to-peer part of it. It's a massively important, it's more important than anything else, is you guys sharing your opinions, good or bad, including about me, which I've had people tell me things about me. I'm like, okay, I need to improve on that. And that's fine. But having the ability to say, we'll welcome critiques, we'll welcome recommendations. There's 50 states. Your average broker is licensed in 1. We're not competitors. I've never competed against anybody in this room, even the brokers in New Jersey who are the guys that came to my office a couple weeks ago, who are literally in my backyard that I invited in and showed them my business model. I never compete against them. I compete against Loan Depot. I compete against Quicken a lot. I compete against those companies, but not brokers. So again, it's being willing to learn and being open to communicate with your peers is so important, guys. And again, I appreciate you guys showing up today because this is the start of it. Independent together, this is our slogan. And again, it's independent together. We're all individuals. We're all separate businesses or originators. But at the end of the day, what we're able to accomplish as a group, as a unit, together is the most important thing. We talked about the ability to reduce cost by shopping around for services. on a bulk basis. We talk about the ability to get new technology to come to our channel just by simply saying, hey, I'm not one user trying to get you to come to our channel. We're 30,000 users. The ability to communicate to lenders. You know, right now we're focused on this this AIME addendum to get lenders to commit to long-term the things that they're committed to right now. You know, you're seeing a lot of lenders saying, hey, listen, I heard about Brawl, so now we're going to give all of our customers back to them right now. Rates are going up, nobody can refi, so let's give them back to the brokers, okay? So now's a great time, so it's convenient. But what happens fast forward 3 years when rates are going down? So to me, having an addendum that contractually obligates them to say, hey, we're committed to this long term, we're committed to you, this is our good faith. And you know, I even had a lender come to me about EPOs. You know, hey, listen, what can I do on the EPO side? I see brokers are complaining about it. I've seen a lot of information about you know, their frustrations with EPOs. And I said, yeah, you know, now we have a channel to talk about these things. You know, if we have a broker that's in a situation where they have an EPO that's about to, you know, they had a bad couple months and it's going to paralyze their business, they need to have a mechanism where they can, you know, have somebody fight for them and talk to them. So independent together, it's all about us working, yes, individually. We all have our separate brands, sharing ideas, working together for a common goal, which is growing the channel, growing our businesses, and putting ourselves in a situation where every single month, we didn't just build a pipeline that's empty next month, but we have an established business that has a true value, that's growing. And those customers are not, we don't own the customer, but those relationships are ours. There's nobody within our network that's sitting there and trying to steal them. So I want to first and foremost give yourselves a round of applause for coming out and supporting this. It's such a big deal. And the last thing is our event, national conferences in Las Vegas. We haven't really talked about it much because we've been focused on some of the things we're working on. If you can join us, this is where we're going to be announcing all the technology initiatives that we've been working on behind the scenes. This isn't just going to be, hey, come out to Vegas, get drunk, and you know there'll be some mortgage stuff there. This is going to be a big one. This is going to be a real, we're planning on showing everybody in the channel, you know, solutions that are going to be ready to use January 1, 2019 for everybody in this room, whether it's reducing costs, whether it's proprietary technology, whether it's an AIME protection addendum that lenders are going to be signing off upon renewal this year. This is where we're going to be making all those announcements. So if you can join us, we would absolutely love to see you guys there. We're going to have lunch now. Again, I thank everybody for their support. If you need anything, you're going to see me come out on social media next. We're, you know, again, every 2 weeks, I invite brokers to my office. Anybody that wants to come, we'd love to have you. We'll show you everything soup to nuts. So feel free to come on in and join us, and I appreciate you guys. So thank you and have a great day.